So please, there's places to get informed and engaged.
Yeah, thanks for that, John. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I just wanted to speak really quickly about Cherry Street. One thing to note is that virtually all the staff that was involved in the Cherry Street decision are no longer at the city, and only 2 of the 7 council members are the same. There's been significant turnover, so we put blame on me. I was on council at the time, by all means, but there's a lot of folks who are now involved in the city that had no relationship whatsoever to the decisions that got us to the Carmel building being located on that property next to the golf course and the church over there. In terms of that, yeah, John spoke to, there's some important lessons that we very much learned coming out of the, having to work through and eventually demolish the Cherry Street building. Yeah, it was a deep frustration that it couldn't go forward successfully. At the time, and was it 2017, I think, when we took the vote to barge the building over, we were told basically we had a day to make the decision. The building was going to be demolished in BC, and if we didn't act on it and get that building for $1, we would miss out on what appeared to be a potentially great opportunity. It was definitely a risk, and the risk did not play out. But we already had a housing crisis then. It's gotten way worse since then. It was I mean, you're right, it was a shot in the dark, so to speak. We didn't have a lot of information that would have been very useful to have. It looked like an opportunity at the time, and it's really unfortunate that basically everything ended up being stacked against that project. I mean, it just failed in every conceivable way. So.
Sorry, just one more thing. I think some things have changed since then, and I'm not, so on one hand, this is a mixed message, so get your brain ready. On one hand, we've got a different team also. In a way, we work together internally, which you don't usually get to see, but if you come to council, you could see our planning director, our public works director, sitting together in partnership, being at all the same meetings together and working together, unlike I don't think we've had in a long time. And so the synergy amongst people looking for the blind spots and trying to figure out, solutions to tough problems is, I'd say, at a pretty high right now. I have high confidence in my team to be smart and strategic and not to step into it in a blunder. And mixed message, we're going to make mistakes. That's just the fact of the matter. And actually, if we're not taking risks, especially on some of our most difficult issues like housing, I'm going to argue we're probably not pushing it hard. We don't want to make a risk and have it all fall down. But I think you can expect that we're going to take some steps in the wrong direction and have to pull back. Hopefully not to the tune of what we just demolished. We don't want to take any big risks like that, but it doesn't mean I read the memos. It was before my time. I take responsibility for it, but I went back and I looked at the memos, and the city manager at the time said, yeah, there's a risk with this project. It was stated and decisions were made. So I think, that's the same thing with a lot of things we're doing right now. So help us see the blind spots and participate so that we don't really step in it.